Tati versus James Charles. Am I going to step into it? Yeah, I think I am. Let's get to it. I'm Amy. This is Living in Chrysalis, and well, I've gotten sucked into Dramageddon 2.0. Not for any entertainment value or schadenfreude, anything like that, but because there are some very serious issues that have come up in the course of the events of the last week. And I've watched a lot of videos and I've seen a lot of speculation and opinions given and speculations as to motives and human behavior in general that are deeply concerning to me. And I'm tired is what I am. I'm tired. I'm in yesterday's clothes. I'm not wearing makeup except anything that might be left over from yesterday. But while I'm certainly not doing the, oh, look all scruffy and wear glasses and tears, it's not my apology video. I don't have anything to apologize for in this circumstance. I imagine there are probably things they need to apologize for. Pretty much, I think we all do. I'm not posting any of my own receipts or video clips or anything like that. For one thing, I don't have the technical ability to do it yet. For another thing, I'm not a drama channel. There are lots of drama channels out there. And when I can remember what I saw somewhere, I will mention it. But other than that, there's lots out there and you can find it. What I will say is that anything that I talk about is either my own opinion and my own take on a situation, or is backed up with receipts on someone else's channel, even if I can't remember which one. I'm not pulling things out of thin air. What we have, of course, is Tati Westbrook, who is a well-respected beauty influencer. She tends to take a very thorough and methodical approach, doesn't get bogged down by brand deals, sponsorships, all that stuff in general. And she's married to a man who is in the entertainment industry. These things are important. So a few years back, James Charles gets attention for an Instagram photograph where he claimed that he took a ring light to his senior photo retakes to make his highlighter pop. We later found out that that was false, and in fact he photoshopped his senior photo, but his career exploded based on this lie. He was invited onto Ellen, and that launched him. And then Tati and James Westbrook took him under their wing to guide this young man. He was 17 at the time, but to help guide him into the start of his social media career and to help him negotiate fair deals and that sort of thing. So, and these two went way above and beyond. Obviously, they're both a good bit older than James, but from what Tati said in her video, he was a friend, but she considered herself in sort of a parental / mentor role. I guess I kind of think of it as, my own thought on it is like the auntie. Tati decided to develop a supplement company, a vitamin company. So apparently they've got supplements intended to help with hair, skin, and nails. And yeah, they're expensive products. They are. This company called Sugar Bear Hair, which makes supplements. And from what I have seen on the internet, they appear to be of questionable quality and utility. But his claim was that he was getting mobbed at Coachella, and they helped him out with the security situation. So he so he decided to do this little Instagram story to pay them back. Yeah. After all these years of being around Tati and James Westbrook, you'd think if he was going to come up with a lie, he would have covered his ass better. Just saying. Again, Tati's been in the social media business for quite some time. She knows how the sponsorship contracts work. In her video, Bye Sister, love that title, by the way, Tati does go into some detail about, the extent of her relationship with James Charles and the sorts of things that she and her husband would do to help promote him. Her husband would look over his contracts, help him get better deals. Tati on her channel, numerous times has promoted him, promoted his code. You've got Tati on her channel saying, "Oh, if you're going to buy this, use code James." She didn't have a code. She doesn't do that, but she promoted his code to help his career. This is a real friend. So when Tati posted her Snapchat story talking about how she couldn't film because she was so upset and she was crying, I get it. Her protege humiliated her personally and professionally. At that point, particularly professionally. Excuse me. Because he promoted her competitor, apparently after having refused to promote her supplements because he said that it wasn't appropriate for his channel. And truthfully, I can kind of see a point with that. But then he turned around and promoted a fairly disreputable supplement company on it to his audience, which is largely made up of tweens and teenagers. And after Tati did her Snapchat story, James Charles was in a video with Nikita Dragon. I don't remember whose channel it was on, nor do I give a crap. I don't watch either one of them. It's not my thing, but I've seen the clips on other channels, obviously. And he's whining about the boy he took to Coachella, broke his heart, or, what, took advantage of him, or something along those lines. Essentially that he took advantage of him, but wasn't interested in him. And it appears to me that especially after seeing that, coupled with her sense of hurt and betrayal, Tati then posted a 42-minute video entitled Bye Sister, in which she goes into significant detail about why, how he was portraying the situation in that video with Nikita Dragon was problematic at best. Tati then went into some examples of James Charles's problematic behavior concerning men, particularly straight men or bi-curious men. He apparently, and has expressed this in various forms of social media for some time, that he has a thing for straight men. I believe once he even said, what would be the challenge in that? I think he said that to Shane Dawson, but I might have that mixed up, but that has been quoted somewhere, and gross. Now, this type of behavior is problematic for so many reasons. For one thing, it fulfills an old but still often prevalent stereotype about gay men being predators, and they're just trying to, turn the straight guys gay or going after them. People get killed over this. He's not helping the gay community by not only engaging in this behavior, but apparently laughing about it like it's some sort of joke. People die. Another issue is that it brings into question consent. I mean, essentially, we're kind of looking at a Harvey Weinstein situation again. No, wait. Let me explain. In that James Charles, while he is still young and still not mature, he is an adult, and he is someone who has a lot of clout given the size of his fortune, which he's had the bad taste to brag about, and the size of his platform. James Charles, if he wants to, can drag someone and ruin their reputation. He had over twice the number of subscribers that Tati did at the time, and even she said in her video that she was a bit afraid of him, and I took the context to mean afraid of his clout and afraid that he would retaliate and work to further damage her reputation, other than the embarrassment of her own protege promoting a rival company. And this is where we need to talk about the guy from Coachella that James was complaining to Nikita Dragon about. After Tati's video, he came up with the courage to out himself, say his name. I mean, obviously at Coachella, photos would have been taken of them. It's pretty obvious that his identity could have been tracked, but he took charge of it and posted his own video. He discussed the events that transpired with James Charles, and that apparently he was bi-curious, but in the end wasn't into James or experimented enough to realize that he's not into dudes, which is fine. And this is, I honestly believe that Tati's calling out this type of behavior enabled both this boy Gage Gomez and another guy named Sam, who's apparently the waiter that she referred to in her video, who apparently also, met up with James Charles, experimented a little bit, and then decided it wasn't for him. Now, whether he's not into dudes or he's just not into that dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But what is so gross about these situations is information that has come out following Tati's video. Apparently with Sam the waiter, when Sam told him that he didn't want to, fly out to LA to hang out with them until he told James that he realized that he's straight and, doesn't want to go on any dishonest basis. James's response to him was so disgusting. It was very high pressure, like, "Oh, you're not straight," and just completely dismissing his feelings. And I'm sorry, but men have feelings too, even straight ones. And Tati was absolutely right, that he was trying to manipulate him into believing he wasn't straight after Sam experimented for himself and then came to his own realization. Well, it's disgusting. It is absolutely vile. And with Gage Gomez, and you should definitely check out Rich Lux's video on this, because Rich Lux got an exclusive interview with Gage Gomez. Now it was in writing. It wasn't by voice or on video or anything. It was by writing, but what concerned me, and I think it was in the interview, but that I discovered this, but James Charles apparently got an NDA from his attorney and then was pressuring Gage Gomez to sign it. Now, this is after Gage already put his first video up, which of course was in response to James Charles complaining about him. And yeah, he didn't do it by name, but he was at Coachella with James. His photo would have been taken. Somebody could figure out who he was. So, James is whining about not getting any at Coachella blew up this whole situation. And maybe something else would have pulled the trigger to do it for her, but we've got to remember that she saw herself in sort of a mentor role, and according to her, and I have no reason to disbelieve her, called him on it in private and tried to get him to realize that his behavior in these circumstances was wrong and was going to get him into trouble. Now, obviously, when we say wrong, we mean morally wrong. It doesn't sound like anything he's done would rise to any sort of criminal level. He's just being awful. And most, well, I don't know about most, but a great many straight women have had to deal with that, from immature boys and men who somehow seem to think that, oh, come on, is somehow going to make me so hot that my panties will just fall off. No, not hot. Definitely not hot. But especially with increasing public awareness about these issues and his young audience, James Charles has a responsibility. He has a responsibility, not only to any potential or hoped for sexual partners, but to society as a whole. We all do. That's why when someone's charged with a crime, at least in the United States, it's not Gage Gomez versus James Charles. It's the state of California versus James Charles, because crimes are committed against society. And like I said, nothing has risen to the level of a crime that I can see, but, and here's the but, I can see it going that way if this behavior isn't checked and stopped, if he doesn't realize that the course he's on is dangerous, not only for him, but for other people. Yeah, he could wind up with a sexual assault charge, because the sense of entitlement grows and grows and grows, and it can easily turn from oh, come on, to just ignoring a no. Now, what makes me think that this is the direction he's going in? I've seen evidence of it. In some of the videos I've watched, they've posted clips of James Charles with the Dolan twins, and apparently he had his eye on one of them. And you could tell by the body language, by the conduct of that particular, I think the kid's name is Grayson Dolan, but you could see from his body language, his looks, even his words now and then, he's trying to keep it cool. They're on video, they're doing their skits or whatever, but you can tell that anytime James is trying to get too close to him, or cracks too many sexual jokes from innocent words, the whole hard, that's what she said. I mean, not that, but that sort of thing where it's just so cringeworthy to watch. And yeah, this kid is bigger than James. He's clearly stronger than James, but you can tell he's so uncomfortable. And his body language, his words, they are being ignored by James Charles. Grayson's comfort zone on video is being ignored. And that can so easily turn into something else. Maybe not with Grayson. He's a big, strong kid, but but the point is, he shouldn't have to even think about who's bigger, who's stronger. Can he defend himself? The point is that James Charles, and I really believe that this is the point that Tati was trying to drive home, and why it's so disgusting that people, she's crying over vitamins, and no, that's not it. What it is, and what the true kernel of this issue is, that he doesn't have respect for other people. even ones that are helping him, even ones that have done so much for him. He doesn't respect their boundaries. It's all about what he wants, and that's it. You know, what he wants, what he needs. And so while Tati was seeing symptoms of this, and again, this is my opinion, but, I'm also 47 years old and I've been through a lot and I've seen a lot. So what Tati is describing is a pattern of behavior that she's seen evolving over some time, but she cares about him and she's trying to guide him in the right direction. And he's not listening. He's not taking it seriously because it interferes with what he wants. And so then she sees, oh, then the thing with the sugar bear hair vitamins happens. And she sees, oh, not only is he posting a story for my direct competition, thus professionally embarrassing me, but he's also making up really stupid stories about how this came about to cover his behind with me. I can see why that snapped. So many people I've seen are talking about, oh, the timing is suspicious. No, it's not. No, it's not. She's been seeing a pattern of behavior. She's tried to work with him about it. He's not listening. He's very full of himself. And something happened that made her realize that, wow, he really has no respect for anyone. Another thing, and I think I'm going to wrap up with this point because it's quite late and there's been a lot to unpack here. I'm sure there's plenty more, but there's only so much I can take. And actually it came from Jeffree Star. He posted a Snapchat story and he said certainly that he and Tati do still care about James and they want him to do well. It's just they're very concerned about his behavior, and Jeffree's no stranger to problematic behavior, and he certainly discusses that in this story. But he's very clear that they both want James to learn from this. That they don't have any aim to destroy him or destroy his career, but seeing the path that he's going down, and the fact that gentler attempts to help him correct this behavior have gone nowhere, Tati had to resort to drastic action, and Jeffree's backing her up. So I'm going to get going. It's late. Thank you so much for watching, if you have. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I don't normally get into such heavy things, but can't avoid it. It has to be done. Thank you so much.